This in itself is learning, because that means that you realize who you are, where you are, and what is your tachlis in this world, and what it is that you need to do. You know, people make the mistakes. We're starting Torah of Ches today. People live under the impression that you either are a superstar or you're a nobody.
No, the people that do that.
Especially if you're teaching and you got people coming to learn from you, whatever it is, that you got to have your own brand. You got to be different. You got to be, you got to be original. You got to be like whoa.
No, but you bring your chiddush to the table.
But what I'm saying is, it's even more important for me. Maybe it's also a little getting away with murder of saying, listen, I don't need to work that hard to be like one of the big guys, because my job is to help people to get there, not to be there. But there is a shtick on that.
You're a recruiter.
I'm a recruiter. And is it serving me right? Is it serving my laziness right now? Yes, it is. But nevertheless, that's what I can do right now, realistically. So that's what I do. Okay. Torah Chav Ches. L'shon Rabbeinu Zichron Livrocha. This is another one of those wondrous, opaque tales of this argument between the sages of Athens and Rabbi Yeshua ben Hanani. Okay. So they come to him and they want to say to him, you think you're so smart, you think you're so clever. All right. Bani lam beisa b'avira d'alma. Build us a house that is hanging in the air, that it's floating in the air. If you're so smart and you're so whatever it is, go ahead. Build us a floating house that floats in the air. Omol Shem, well, you didn't, it wasn't flummoxed in any way. He said the Shem Kodesh. V'tala ben Shmavel, and he brought himself, he levitated. Rabbi Yeshua ben Hanani levitated, and he stood between heaven and earth. He was
levitated?
Rose up in the air. It's like he was floating up in the air, and he was floating in heaven and earth. And he says, you want me to build your house now? Now bring me bricks and mortar from where you are and bring it up to me. Omru, and they said, is there anybody who can actually bring brick and mortar over there? So he told them, do you think there's anybody who can build a house hanging between heaven and earth? Well, and all in every aspect, this is an astonishing Maisa. In other words, it's not only, their, jaw-dropping gasp should have happened already when he said Hashem and he's standing in heaven and earth. But apparently they accepted it as, okay, so you can do that. But who can bring up, that's no big deal, but you cannot bring bricks and mortar up there. So the whole thing is cloaked in mystery. And the Rebbe explains what this is really all about. Seif Aleph. Hamisnagdim hamevazim hamechalfim yirei Hashem. those misnagdim that deride and curse out the people who are Yirei Hashem.
Question, Bisnagdim. What's Bisnagdim?
Opponents.
Opponents?
Again,
Uh-huh.
against.
Neged is against.
Nothing, no specific group or...
No, we're not talking. No, we're not talking about anybody who is a misnagid, who is a mevazah, and a chafir Hashem. They can be litvaks, they can be chassidim, they can be going, they can be whatever. We are an equal opportunity.
To be...
It's an equal opportunity endeavor. Anybody can be a misnagid. Just it's an open season on Yirei Hashem. The reason why we're not talking about going, we're not talking about Chilam, because we spoke about it at length at Torah base. They received their Torah from Talmidei Chachomim that are really Jewish demons. We explained this at great length, we're not going to go into it right now. Ki Talmidei Chachomim shel Yudoim, because Talmidei Chachomim, which are in effect what they call Jewish demons, they receive their Torah from the demons. What they have a crestfallen Torah. The Torah that comes through a certain mitzvah, which is called Alfin Nefulim. These are the fallen alephs, or champions, generals, or main sources. This is the aleph. Aleph is the beginning. It's the first letter. That's the source. So when somebody who is a champion, he's an aloof. He's a general. He's an aloof. Aloof. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is aloof shel olam. He is. He's the champion of the world, which means he's the source of the world. He's the aleph of the world, because he's the beginning of the world. Okay? Now, every single thing has to begin somewhere. The Torah of the Shedim Yudoim begins with something called Alfin Nefulim, the fallen alephs. These are the holy sparks that fell down during the primordial shattering of the vessels that fell into the kelipos. And now, the fact that they fell into the kelipot by itself does not mean that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is not mashgiach on it. It does not actually keep his eye on them and make sure that ultimately they have redemption. That's why one of the 13 midah shel rachamim is noitzer chesed la'alofim. Kodesh Baruch Hu has a special treasure of chesed for the alofim. These are the alofim nefulim. These are the fallen alephs. In other words, they may be far from the eye, but they're not far from the heart. In the meantime, these alofim is like a reform rabbi that learns Gemara, which means that it's only used for bad. It's only used to that's a pshat of receiving the Torah through the Shedim, through the Mazikim. Ve'alfin elu, and about these alephs, ksiv b'shloima. Shloima says, "Vaydaber shloshes alofim mashal," and he spoke 3,000 parables. Vayishiro chamisha ve'elef. In other words, the Torah of Shlomo HaMelech was so vast and so profound that on every pasuk he was able to say 3,000 mishalim. He was able to bring 3,000 parables to explain the inner meanings of every pasuk of the Torah. And he was able to bring for every one of those mishalim 1,005 reasons. In other words, altogether over 3 million reasons for the 3,000 mishalim for every pasuk of the Torah. What is actually alluded to in here is that the Torah Shlomo Melech came from the highest bechina, from the supernal bechina of Alfin B'Kedusha, the beginning, the Aleph of Kedusha. Ki Shlomo zocha lahem B'Kedusha, because Shlomo was zocha to these Alephs in Kedusha, through holiness. Aval Talmidei Chacham she'einu yudoim, but these sages, which are actually Jewish demons, mekablim em derech haklipos, they receive the Torah from the Aleph, which is the source of all Chachma, after it goes through a detour through the Shedim, through the Klipos, because it is the Klipos who leech off the Alphen. So once the Torah goes into the Shedim, it becomes Alphen Nefulim that fell into the Klipos. Bishvil Zeh, that's the reason, Kol Diburam, when you hear those who speak against the Torah, Derech Moshel Umelitzo V'Tamim Nifloim, they have, they're the great communicators. They have wonderful mashalim. They are like, oh, so smart. They are like so spitzlig. And they're so funny, and they're so satirical, and they're so, shrewd, and they get everywhere. Because the shorish comes from these alafim. I think that what we will try to do the next year is maybe do it on the other side, because I'm having a problem with the lights. Sometimes I watch out, sometimes I watch. So we'll try different kind of lighting. So no, that's fine. That's the only that helps of lighting solutions. So being that their Torah comes from these alafim, from these alafim are the source of all the militza, all the reasonings and the fine talk and the smart satire and everything else. And about these sages, that is a very, very scathing piece of criticism that was said. One of them said to the people of Beis David in Yeshaya the Navi. Is it not enough that you tire everybody out? You tire out the Nevi'im, trying to teach them how awful they are when they try to teach you some Mussar. You teach them that, don't you know that the new morality is that men should be able to marry men? What's wrong with you? You're a fascist. You're a Nazi. How dare you? Is it not enough that you tire the Nevi'im? that you want to tire out a Kodesh Baruch Hu also, that you will make it so that you will win against against the Nevi'im, the Talmidei Chachamim. But what is actually, that's the pshat of the pasuk. But what is actually, alluded to in this pasuk is that these Talmidei Chachamim הם מייגעים אנשים שבאים לשמוע דרושם ותירוסם. They tire out the people that come to listen to the Torah. Why? People come to the shul and they figure, שיבואו לאיזה תועלת על ידם. I'm going to come. I'm going to gain something. שיבואו לדעת את השם, איך לעבוד. They'll come and they'll get to know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They know how to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's the way to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu? ואלה אנשים אין משיגים שום תועלת. These people, they don't get anything. They only hear how smart you are. You know, how you can take the pasuk and you can look like you can take a ritva and you can hit it with a rashba and you can hit it right in the kidneys with the rishonim, and then you can choke it up with, you know, with a tosfos and bring another gemara and totally hit it in the solar plexus, and at the end the Torah just lies down and on the canvas and doesn't get up for the count, and you are the winner. That's what comes out of the whole thing. You are the champion, my friend. But you come there because you want to learn how to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But that's not what you get. What you get is a concert that shows you how brilliant I am.
Me.
Yeah, I mean, listen to this solo. Just forget about everything else. Just listen to this. You know, and I bring an Arizal, and I bring this, and I bring this in, and you go, oh, wow, this guy is coming on looking like a new King Kong. It's unbelievable how big he is. But you come here for Avodas Hashem, and you got any tayalas. כי תורוסם של אלה תלמידי חכמים, the Torah of these תלמידי חכמים, אין לה כוח להדריך את האדם בדרך הטוב. It doesn't have the ability to guide people on a good road. כי מבישו לה וטובה. Good does not result from bad. Good does not result from bad. This is עד כדי I can say בדרך משל, here we're talking about משל, here I go. There are two things you're not allowed to bring on the Mizbeach. Right? Anybody remembers what they are? No, Chelev is supposed to. כי כל שאור וכל דבש לא סקטירו ממנו ישאל השם. You don't bring sourdough and you don't bring honey. These are the two substances you're not allowed to bring on the Mizbeach. Why were these two singled out? The Seor, it's because the Seor is the most famous euphemism for Seor of the bad itself. That's the thing that sours. He says, גלוי וידוע לפניך, ריבונו של עולם, שרצוננו לעשות רצונך, that our will is to do your will, אבל מה יעשה ששאור שבעיסה מעקר? What can I do? That the sourdough, you know, in the dough holds me back. The madma yetzirah holds me back. It prevents me from doing it. So seor you don't put on the mizbeach. The total bad you don't bring on the mizbeach. The dvash is an even bigger pella, because we have a cloud that good cannot come from bad. It says mi ten tahor mitamei. Who can produce something pure from something which is impure? Lo echad, not one. the only substance on earth where a pure and kosher substance comes out of a non-kosher source is honey. Honey is kosher, bees are not. Any kind of milk that comes from a non-kosher animal is not kosher. Any milk that comes from a non-kosher animal is not. That pig's milk is not kosher. It has to come from a kosher animal, either from a cow or from a goat or from a sheep. Okay, good can come only out of good. The one exception is honey. The only one that can do it is the Kadosh Baruch Hu alone. Everything that comes to the Mizbeach is the Mizbeach is the ultimate rectification. When we eat, we rectify, we elevate the holy sparks which are in the food. There are certain foods that we are able to be ma'al the nitzotzos, to elevate the nitzotzos, and certain foods that we can't. The total tumah that we can't. So the kosher animals, which are partially misukan, by eating them, the kashrus, with brachas, properly, we're able to elevate them. But even them, there are certain parts of the animal which we as human beings cannot elevate. So what can elevate them? What consumption can elevate them? That of the mizbeach. That is the chaylev, the fats. The isur chaylev, the prohibition against eating of the chaylev is bikares. It's worse than eating pork. Eating pork is belav. It's don't do. Eating chaylev is bikares. The same thing, why is because chaylev, the reason why we cannot eat pork, because it's too primitive. We don't have the power for such heavy lifting. This is beyond our pay grade. We can't. La'osid lovoid, why is it called chazir? She'osid HaKadosh Baruch Hu, tissues over there. She'osid HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'achzir la'kashrusay. Kadosh Baruch Hu can make it kosher. Also, Kadosh Baruch Hu will do that. But things that we cannot rectify them because they are too holy for us, because they're too refined for us, and we're unable because we are too low, because this is truly above our pay grade. If we try to rectify them, not only are we over belav, but the Shem Yirachem will have kores also. So this is the result of eating chelev. Same thing is the result of marrying one's sister. Marrying one's sister is ultimately, Api Kabbalah, the holiest matrimony that there is. In all of the Savyanim, the Zer Ampir and the Malchus are actually brothers and sisters that become Chosan and Kala. That's why, I left it to the Mishul for the Chavona. That's why, there's even a matzah box up there that you can put it in there. That's why, all the Shvatim had twin girls that were born with them. And so did Hevel and Cain. The first crime of Cain was not killing Hevel, but actually taking his sister. That was the first, that's the thing that led to the murder. We do not have the capacity to handle that kind of kedusha. That's why marrying one sister is oynish b'kares, which is much worse than the love. Much worse than the love. So what we have here, that people are coming to you, and they want to get from you a toiv, but you're bad. You get your Torah through shadim. Good cannot come out of this. Only Kadosh Baruch Hu can get good out of bad. Get honey out of a bee, out of a non-kosher animal. Other than that, the rule is good cannot result from bad. Nekuda. Period. Sof pasuk. End of story. See you later. So it's not only that you disappoint people, you're just tiring them for nothing. You have to follow your reasonings and your machshavas, and for what? They think they can going to get something out of it. They can serve Hashem. Instead, they're just seeing, a catch as you can, wrestling match between you and the Torah, in which you beat the Torah down and you come out the victor. He says, not only this, Kisal'u gam Elokim, you also kivyochel Taira Kodesh Baruch Hu. What does it mean you Taira Kodesh Baruch Hu? This is an unbelievably scathing criticism. Ki'ilu loya HaKadosh Baruch Hu mela'azor la'ovdim Yisrael. You are creating an impression as if the Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't have the koyach to help those who serve Him. You're making the Kodesh Baruch Hu irrelevant. People think, he's a rabbi, and you try to follow what he's saying, and it doesn't get you anywhere. You're showing as if a Kodesh Baruch Hu it's like it's not even a part of your life. Kodesh Baruch Hu cannot help those who serve Him. Not only are not helping those people to serve a Kodesh Baruch Hu, but you are causing an irreparable damage that you're creating by them the impression that Torah belongs in the shul. Outside you go, you do business, you cheat, you abscond with people's property, and you behave like it's okay, it's nothing to do with it. In the shul, you're from, you get tired of this. But it's nothing to do with real life. That's the worst crime. Not only you tiring people, but you make it so as if Kodesh Baruch Hu is also ineffectual. Because Baruch Hu also doesn't help those who serve Him. Shalidei zeh elu bnei Adam that receive the Torah from the Talmidei Chacham she'edim adoim noiflim kfiras b'kfiras g'dayles. You dump people into deep, severe heresies. V'choshvim chas v'shalom, and they think the people that hear you, they come out with the impression that the Kodesh Baruch Hu, He doesn't get what people do. He's like, this old hippie chairman of the board scratching his head and says, kids, something happened? Do as you wish as long as you don't hurt anybody. Dude. You're just making the Kodesh Baruch Hu totally irrelevant. Ad kadei kach that for most religious people, they don't get along with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. They don't know what to do with them. What do? You can deal with the rabbi, you can deal with the Torah, you can deal with everything, but what do you do with the Kodesh Baruch Hu? You just go to this, you clap, don't hurt me, I promise to be a good boy, and then you just go and you do whatever it is that you want. He doesn't know he doesn't know what's going on anyhow. That's what the rabbi told me. I didn't get any adracha on how to actually, serve a Kodesh Baruch Hu. I just, something with full air, with great mishalim, was a lot of fun, was a lot of things, but nothing came out of it. And that causes them to deride all those who really fear Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's a lega, no good Nick. I'm a shigana. What are you scared? What, from some imaginary friend? Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't know anything what's happening to you. He doesn't help you. There's nothing. you're causing the people to deride and to curse out the real Yirei Hashem. That's why, and you mevayish them, you embarrass them. That's why bush is called avodas salilim. We really need to stop here because we have to go to daven. But this is, you understand, this is a crucial Torah to understand